Welcome to week 43 and 44 of Esper's Refit. This is a special episode in which Behan of sailing yacht Totem pulls off a spectacular fundraising effort for the local boatyard children. And we chat to Julie from PSS about the families who live and work in the boatyard. More on that in a moment. First, would you believe it, we actually have a progress report on the boat with none other than Liz. Welcome back, Liz. After over 2 months back in the UK, Liz has returned and she's going to give us a quick week 43 and 44 summary and her overall impressions of how the project has gone in her absence. So, Liz.
Yep.
What do you reckon?
Well, to be honest, it looks more of a mess than when I left it, but that's because there's so much that's been going on. And you and I spent this morning going round the boat from the keel to the tip of the mast, looking at all the jobs that are outstanding. And what's very exciting is that I think we might actually be finished in a month. And the boat's looking great. This is all finished up here. So all the varnishing is finished here, the lights are all in. Just a couple of things to be done inside cupboards, but you know, pretty much she's looking great. I'm really excited. There's that swimming platform that still needs a bit of work, but it's up, it's in position, it looks just how we imagined it. There's so much. So this is what's going on upstairs, Jamie.
What's going on upstairs? Lots in your absence. The main thing that we were working on over the last 2 weeks is the bow fitting. As if you remember, we've got a rocker system now for the anchor, and we have fitted a plate, a bed underneath the bow fitting, because with the removal of the teak deck it didn't fit. So Tom had to make a plate using ply, which Dang then epoxied and fiberglassed and then spray painted. It had to be cut to shape to follow the contour of the bow of the boat, and we fitted it yesterday. At the back we are still waiting for bolts to put in our push pit, and we've run the cables down the push pit, so we're just going to bolt those in place. And also we had Oot, if you remember, Oot was part of the paint team, and he came in and he filled in various little holes and things that we had put in the deck that we didn't need anymore. So he's been popping in and filling those up, and you'd never have noticed that they were there. He's done a fantastic job.
What about the mast? You've been working on the rigging, haven't you, this week?
Yeah, so the job that I have been putting off is the forestay furling mechanism, which I completely took apart, including the Norseman fitting and all the bearings and the races, which have been replaced. And I put it all back together, and surprisingly it actually only took a morning to do, but we've got to wait for a part coming in from Phuket to finish off the actual swage fitting, or the swage-less fitting I should say, before we can complete that. But really we could probably put the masts up now, because that's something that we can do when the masts are in place. So I'm not so worried about that, and hopefully the fitting should come in the next couple of days. The other thing that we've been doing is working on the exhaust system. The old exhaust pipe in the lazarette was a little bit corroded actually. There's a join, a stainless join that connects two parts of the hose pipe. We had to take that apart, and the condition of the hose pipe wasn't great, so it meant that we bought a new hose pipe. And the exhaust hole had to be re-drilled by Tom because we filled that in, and we're just waiting for a couple of parts for that before we can put all that together. That in turn means that next week Sombat, the electrician, can look at actually starting the engine, which is great progress.
So just rewinding for 1 second there, Jamie, you're saying that the masts are ready to go back on. Does that mean that next week's video we're going to see the tent coming down?
Well, we wanted the tent to come down about 3 weeks ago, and each week there's been a delay, and we can't take the tent down until every single deck fitting has been put in place and all the windows have been put back in, which is something else Ton and I have been doing this week. There should be no reason why we can't, because the other thing as well with the tent, Dang's been using parts of the tent as spray areas, so we can't really take that down until he's done. But I think Dang may actually even be finishing in the next couple of days. Who knows? So it's not a question I'm going to answer just yet. PSS isn't just another boatyard, it's a community. Entire families make up the workforce, and many of the villagers of Chebilang work here. Children play in and around the yard and even take lessons in the boatyard office. Westerners may be horrified by the health and safety concerns of children running around the industrial environment, but they are part of the boatyard's make-up. Workers come from Thailand, Myanmar and Cambodia, and to help them, PSS has built homes for some of their workers next to the yard. I spoke to Julie of PSS about this ongoing project.
Okay, so we are just next to the shipyard, and these houses, this one is older and this one is newly built, and these are just homes for our workers.
How many workers do you have here?
About 60. But
60?
Yeah, 60 workers, but not all of them live here, but a big majority, like at least half of them with their families live here. The majority is Thai, and only a percentage of them are from Myanmar. And now we have some Cambodians workers as well. So yeah.
So it's quite multicultural here then. You have Thai, Burmese and Cambodians as well.
Yes, and I guess with AEC and ASEAN thing coming up, we'll have even more workers from other ASEAN countries coming.
Can you tell us a bit more about that? Because I'm not sure Western viewers will understand the concept of that.
Oh, the AEC? Well, it's just how we're gonna unite all the Southeast Asian countries into one big community, so that it makes them come into Thailand, out of Thailand much easier, and they can work in more sectors, not only labor. Maybe we can have office jobs or other things soon. And right now we cannot hire, for example, people from the Philippines, but with the AEC and ASEAN event coming up, we'll be able to hire different people from Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, not sure, just the whole community. And it's gonna be easier with the paperwork, immigration, visas, work permit. So it's good for everybody.
Okay, so can we step inside one of the houses then?
Sure, follow me. It's very simple and they are very modest, but this is just a normal house with that. We can have a look.
Can you introduce me to these guys?
So this is Hiwin and her daughter, Clark.
This is John. And the baby's name?
And Sopa. Sopa is the daughter taking care of Hwalan.
Sopa and Kwalan play a significant role in the next part of this story. Because Sopa was not born in Thailand, she is not eligible for schooling, and so she spends her days in the yard looking after her younger brother. You can see them here, typically hanging out by the yard shop where all the deliveries are dropped off. On Thursday, however, a rather different consignment of goodies arrived. New bicycles, scooters, school uniforms, exercise books, pens, badminton rackets, footballs, and even a skateboard had magically appeared, all thanks to one person and her blog.
This started about a week ago when I posted a picture of one of the kids from the shipyard. This adorable little boy that we call the monk, because he's not quite 2 years old and he's bald as a billiard ball and he looks like a little monk. He's adorable. We had given our scooters from Totem to the kids that live adjacent to the shipyard, whose parents work in the shipyard, because they were clearly coveting the scooters that belonged to the little boys on another boat here. And we just didn't need ours that much anymore. Our kids are getting bigger. We're going to spend the next year crossing the Indian Ocean, and there are not a lot of paved roads in Maldivian atolls, so we thought they're just going to go to much, much better use if we leave them here with these kids. They'll be well loved. So seeing the energy from the kids and posting this picture of this cute little monk with the Totem scooter that had the handles dropped to fit his diminutive height. One of our Facebook followers had said, "Hey, I'd like to send a scooter. What's the address?" And when we looked at the shipping costs, it was absurd. You know, the cost of shipping one scooter over would buy 3 probably in Thailand. So we decided to set up a short-term fundraiser, and the response was absolutely overwhelming. I haven't done a perfect count, but I want to say it's close to 30 or more people who've donated and over $1,000 raised. And with that, we've been able to not just buy wheels for every child whose parent works in the shipyard here, but also to get school supplies and to help support their families with money for uniforms. One of the hardships for a kid here is that it costs more than a full day's wage to buy a single uniform, and they have to have 3 complete uniforms plus shoes in order to attend school every day. So we can help them with uniforms, we can help them with supplies, and the overwhelming response from people wanting to donate helped us make a really, really big difference.
บอกทุกคนโอเคบอกภาษาพม่าเพื่อนของTotem ไทย yes
How was it this evening handing out the gifts to the children?
You saw it. Wasn't that cool? Actually, I'm looking forward to seeing your video and having more of the bird's eye view of it, because being right in the middle of all of the kids got a little overwhelming. It'll be interesting to see it kind of pulled back. But it felt just great. It felt like such a privilege, and I wish that I'm such a sap. I wish that everyone who gave had a chance to experience that, because it's just so great. And learning more about these kids too. I mean, their life's not easy. A lot of them are they're from Burma. They're families that don't have means and opportunity. They struggle just to get here. The agents that get them from Burma here to have a job are parasites that basically soak them for months of wages that they haven't even earned yet, just to have the privilege to be here and work. And so I guess it's just a privilege for us to be able to, as their parents are working so hard to give their kids a better life, to improve their every day with a little bit of fun and a little bit of practical help. How do you say you're welcome?
Well, Behan, on behalf of us and obviously all the guys that donated, I'd like to thank you for your efforts, because it was a marvellous cause and it was a real privilege just to experience it. So thank you.
Welcome. And thanks to Bobby from Satun for the awesome pizza with a Liverpool accent.
Behan's Kids and Kittens Fund was a quick whip around that raised over $1,300 in less than a week. And on behalf of the Yard, we'd like to thank everyone who contributed. You can find more details on Totem's blog at www.sailingtotem.com. Sadly for us, we had to say goodbye to the Totem crew, who left the Yard a couple of days later. Even Sooty, Behan's favourite kitten, came to wave Behan, Jamie, Marin, Siobhan and Niall off from the dockyard. We wish them fair winds on their travels across the Indian Ocean and thank them for brightening up this cruising life.